issue of terrorism. India has been a victim of terrorism. You will be going to Mumbai to pay homage to the 2611 victims. What do you have to say on that? We know there is a country in the region that has been involved in cross-border terrorism in India. What's your standpoint? And also a definition of terrorism is something that India has been calling on. If you can talk about that as well.
The first thing I should say is that terrorism is a global phenomenon. It is everywhere. Radicalization exists in places where you would think it does not exist. And its effect on society is damaging and destabilizing. It's not acceptable. I'm aware that India has been a victim of terrorism. Many countries around the world have. The United Nations has a program of action on anti-terrorism that requires all member states, to honor their commitments under that program and to work collaboratively through exchange of information and in other means to minimize the possibility of terrorism. Now, one of the things about terrorism is that the successes don't generally get reported because we don't know about them. Every day that goes by where there is not the occurrence of a terrorist act on earth is a successful day. The anti-terrorism mechanisms are working. When we hear about it is when, for whatever reason, there is a lapse or a breakdown and an incident takes place. And I remember well the incident at the hotel in Mumbai, in which several people lost their lives. We must, as an international community, redouble our efforts to rid the world of international terrorism. No one can deny that terrorism is destructive. It undermines everything we try to do in the United Nations. The United Nations prioritizes development, prioritizes human rights, prioritizes the welfare and well-being of people. And terrorism sets out as an objective to instill fear in the hearts of people by killing people. That is not in keeping with the values and the ideals of the United Nations. So all countries have an obligation. The United Nations Security Council, of which we were just speaking, has adopted a number of resolutions on anti-terrorism. And those resolutions, all resolutions of the Security Council, have the force of law. Countries have an obligation to follow and to implement those resolutions. That is their obligation. That is the mandate that they have. And I would hope that all countries in all parts of the world honor those commitments in the interest of peace and stability in the international system.